You're not an entrepreneur or a business owner until you're sitting at 2 o'clock in the morning with your hands in your head going, what the fuck am I going to do? I got $100,000 worth of product I can't sell.
Why didn't you quit?
My whole family and close friends had a bit of an intervention, just said stop. They pulled me aside.
Vic, welcome to the pod, mate.
Thank you, Dozer. Pleasure to be here.
Mate, we're absolutely pumped to have you here. Vic from Muscle Republic. So obviously we're going to talk about business.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what it took to build Muscle Republic.
Yes.
We'll do some highlights at the start in terms of like some things that you're most proud of.
Yep.
And then we're going to just like get into the shit that no one really normally talks about with business.
Okay.
But when we have our chats, like
Yeah.
that's actually really what makes everything, right?
Yeah, you tell me to stop talking, wait for the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So run me through what some of your highlights are in terms of your proudest achievements with Muscle Republic.
Yeah. Firstly, was starting. That was the biggest one.
Yeah.
And most recently was just taking a brand new warehouse, an office, which is 3,600 meters.
Yeah.
Which is enormous. So it's testament to the growth of the brand.
Mm.
But it's been a milestone. It's funny because I started back in 2013. I had no intention of starting a business.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So how did you start it then?
So I think, well, what I was doing is I was trying to change my life. And I think I was listening to something recently, and they say that an entrepreneur's journey is not about business. It's about self-development, and you just keep getting better. And, a business will never outgrow its leader, that kind of, and it's true. So now I lead a team of 25 people, plus contractors and that, but build a community over the years of people that are aligned to the mission that we're on, and that's connect the world through the heartbeat of fitness. So how I started was I was literally trying to turn my life around. So the gym for me was my church. I was super passionate from when I was a kid. Skinny kid. I was telling my marketing manager last night that I was 58 kilos when I left school in year 12.
Wow.
It's going back to 96.
Yeah.
No internet. I've just started.
Yeah.
I would go to the news agency and buy magazines, Flex, Muscle Mag.
Right. Old school.
Rip out the pages on what to eat, programs, and mentors, that were a bit older that would go into the gym would train me. And I'd train with them under their guidance. And I was just trying to get jacked, I was just trying to get some size on. So, but it was building self-confidence. And I was saying to someone, actually I was saying to Jeffro in the car, I said, our goal now is unlimited. And we can do that. We can 4X the business. And that's my goal. I was telling you yesterday. And that's not unachievable, because if you relate it back to a bodybuilder's mentality, they just reverse engineer everything back from a target.
Right.
And that's the way we've got to act in business. So if we want to do X amount of rev, that's fine. What traffic do we need to the website? What product do we need to buy? What SKUs do we need to have? What are we missing in our range? We have massive opportunity for men's. So going back, it was 2012. I'm broke. I've moved back home with my parents. I'm weekend warrior, thinking I'm cool. I'm literally smashing myself from Friday night to Sunday. And I'm filling myself with negativity, and that's what alcohol and drugs do. But I'm still going to the gym. So I'm thinking I'm okay. And I literally woke up one Sunday and I was just like, fuck, this is enough.
Right.
I just got my dog, he would have been a couple of years old.
Charlie Brown,
who just passed away 6 weeks ago. And what happened is what dogs give you is value. So they don't judge you. They just want to be around you. And so I was so empty, but he was filling me with value. And as I was doing certain things, like negative stuff, like just talking shit with people, fucking thinking I was cool on weekends, I was taking away my own value by trying to replace it with like substance.
Right.
So I was empty, so like, they say rock bottom, the only way, best thing about rock bottom is you look up. And your potential is endless. And I said to myself, I'm going to do a bodybuilding contest. I'm going to make my brother proud. I'm going to make myself proud.
Okay.
And I did. I set that goal with a mate and we trained. We trained 2 o'clock every day. I was working in real estate and I was running out of shirts to train in. So I'd walk with Charlie in the morning and I didn't realize it, but the walking gave me that momentum. When you move, you think better. I'm like, oh, fuck, I really don't like real estate. What if I could do my own business? And it kind of like, these businesses were popping up, online e-com businesses were popping up back then. And I was like, oh, no, I'm in real estate. That's crazy. I'm really not a digital-driven person. Fuck it. I started to share my journey of my dog and my training. And
On what? Instagram?
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what really happened is I was reading quotes. So I would read powerful quotes of aspiration, inspiration, and it started to shift. And I'm a massive Rocky fan. And I would watch Rocky, go home at night. I'd watch Rocky 3. And there's one scene in there, which is being shared as a bit of a meme viral at the moment. And it's, there is no tomorrow. So he's like, I'll put it off to tomorrow. And everyone does that. And I said to myself, fuck, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to train for today. So I kept that as my motto for the year.
Right.
Walk off stage, September 2012, Bankstown Sports Club.
Wow.
And I never felt more valued than I did to myself.
Is that right?
And as I sort of started to integrate back into, seeing people again, fuck, I saw what you did. I'm so inspired. I can't believe it. It wasn't that, and they were saying that to my brother.
Right.
So I was like, shit, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
I started to distance myself from certain people or certain activities. I said, you know what, I've set one goal, I'm going to set another. So I was in Bali in the year for New Year's with some mates, and we bought some shirts.
Yeah.
And one of my mates said, fuck, you should do your own.
Really?
Yeah, because I was cutting the sleeves off T-shirts.
Because?
Well, what was happening is as I was training on Saturday afternoons, people wanted to come and train with myself and my trainer. So I'm like, yeah, come down. So instead of going to get on the piss, we were training on Saturday afternoons and going to get a steak after.
Love.
And wake up on Sunday morning, take Charlie for a walk. So life started to have a different perspective on it. And good started to flow in. So business ideas started to happen, and then don't like real estate, fine. Start your own thing, but start it on the side. So we did. I made some shirts. It was February 2013, and it was called Train for Today Gymwear. Still got.
So that was the original. That was the original name, was it?
Yeah.
Muscle Republic.
Yeah, it's above my office.
Wow.
And it was a shit name.
Yep.
But
it's a long one.
Yep.
Trainfortoday.com. Yeah.
But it was March 2013, and when I caught up with a friend of mine, I said, I got the name. It's called The Muscle Republic. It's a community of people that come together and train together and connect the world through the heartbeat of fitness. And she's like, that's a fucking mad name. Let's do it. So she did the OG logo. We started printing some shirts from AS Color.
Yeah.
Did 1,000 shirts.
Yeah.
And my real estate guy signed them. And I just couldn't stop. I'm like literally scribbling in this notebook, which I still have today. And I'm scribbling business plans. I'm writing quotes. I'm drawing T-shirt outlines and putting, graphics in there. And I can't draw it. There's shit. But it was all about just starting, keeping momentum, moving forward. And it started to work. The biggest thing was opening up to the social world and saying, hey, I've got a brand. Anyone want to buy a shirt? And because I was documenting my journey unintentionally, people started to go, oh, yeah, I'll buy a shirt. So I would drop it off in there. There's one girl, Diana Cavallaro, her name is. She's a friend of mine. She still buys my stuff today.
Does she?
Do the drop-offs.
Hand deliver into people's letterboxes.
Oh. They'd come down to my real estate, which was above a fish shop in Dewey.
Yeah.
And they'd buy their shirts.
Right.
We do pop-ups at gyms out the back of the ute.
Yeah.
So it was pure hustle.
It's pure hustle, like pure groundswell and guerrilla stuff.
And I think that was the proudest thing, that it was literally just getting started, because heaps of people come to me now and say, hey, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to do this. What do you think I should do? Who's your supplier? This and that. I'm like, listen, if you want to start, 100%, you should start today. But you got to get on Alibaba and you got to go through the pain of finding suppliers. You got to work out. I started doing business courses. I did a course called The Entourage.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And
Jack's been here.
Yeah, Jack was amazing. I still talk to Jack on socials. And I was actually doing some stuff with a friend of mine who does, she calls it's NLP, I think it is. Yeah,
neural linguistic programming.
This girl I grew up with, she's like, what is stopping you from doing what you want to do? And I'm like, my dad reckons I should take the real estate over. It's very traditional, it's safe there. If I start this business and it collapses, she goes, what do you really got to lose? I said, fucking actually nothing, So I sold my car, had 20 grand. I went to Bangladesh in 2014, found a supplier, thought I was going to get kidnapped.
How'd you pick Bangladesh?
So I'm on Alibaba.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for suppliers.
Oh, you're looking, okay.
I look at the tag on AS Color. And it
Bangladesh.
says made in Bangladesh.
Oh.
So I'm like, fuck, maybe they got good product. So I just went.
You just went.
Yeah.
Do you have
I
any
went to
appointments
Flight
set up?
Centre. Huh?
Did you have any appointments set up?
I was talking to this
you were talking
supplier.
to some factories, yeah.
Yeah. And I go to his Flight Centre at the time and said, I need a flight to Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Mm.
The lady's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, so
I
cool. I'm
was
thinking.
like, I'm going to find a wife.
Yeah. And hopefully some T-shirts.
So yeah, it was a big eye opener. But we ordered 6,000 units. We landed those. The truck came to my parents' house. I set up the bunning shelves. I still have the bunning shelves at the old warehouse where we are
So
now.
still got the name above your desk. You've still got the scrapbook. You've still got the bunning shelves.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, it's they mean something. To me.
Meaningful. Yeah. Sentimental, meaningful. My question is, I want to get back into this, but everything that you've said so far, like what gave you the audacity to think that you could actually start making T-shirts?
Yeah.
And leave the family business? Was it just pure like you backed yourself, Vic?
Yeah,
or did you...
I kind of like after doing the comp, I said I can do anything now.
Interesting. So what about the comp made you think that?
Because I put value into myself.
Wow.
So you know when you say you're going to do something and you do it?
100% so do.
I would do it for 2 or 3 weeks and then I'd go to a birthday party.
And then you'd
I'd have a Sunday
piece of cake.
session. Yeah, a piece of cake. I didn't waver. I'm talking, I was weighing the grams of fucking rice. And I'm going from like 92 kilos to 70 kilos, you know. And I'm training 2-3 times a day. I'm not going out. I'm hanging at home and I'm researching and I'm looking at different ideas. But what the shirt gave me was a sense of belonging and value.
Is that right?
Yeah, you know.
Were you
like
with that Saturday afternoon crew?
Yeah.
And just people through socials speak to your brother and just yourself?
Let's take a group photo at the end of it.
Oh, wow.
So I started to instill value in myself. So I said, if I can do this, I can start my own business. But I was scared as hell. And I still get fucking, like, I'm talking a couple of years ago, I'm putting purchase orders in, talk about like faint white. I'm scared as hell. And like, I'm trying to borrow money from banks and they won't give me the money. So I'm talking to trade finance companies and I'm shuddering, like the sheer volume that we would invest into this business.
What's one of the biggest invoices you've paid?
Oh, a couple mil.
Shit.
Yeah, like it's huge.
In one go?
Yeah. We buy big stock now.
I think Soph spent that much on your Luxwear.
We love you, Soph.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's huge. But there was one podcast I watched and people talk about doing a certain revenue value.
Yeah.
But they have to buy the stock to hit that revenue value.
Of course.
So otherwise you're just a pretender.
Of course.
So I said, fuck, ever since I heard that, I'm like, well, he's right.
Yeah.
You can't make in a product-based business, you can't make the revenue without actually buying the actual stock.
Some cogs, right? Like you got to actually buy the raw material first.
Well, you have to buy the product.
Yeah.
It obviously comes completed.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then how are you going to do it? You know, and what happens is lead times get longer, sell-throughs get faster. So you have to buy for a longer period of time. So understanding the apparel business was a big sort of shift. And I'm still learning every day.
Okay. So you're in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
You're walking around and you're like, how the fuck do I get here? And then you found a factory.
Yeah. Well, the guy picked us up from the hotel. We go to the factories. He takes us to a few different ones.
Yeah.
We find, one that we do a deal with. It's just basically 6 products. There's 3 men's, 3 ladies.
Yeah.
They've all got the same logo on them. And there's a few colors. So we land that product. It comes about September that year. So I've got 6,000 units now in my parents' garage. They're all sorted. I'm using an Excel spreadsheet. I'm using my property manager and receptionist to help me count the stock.
Oh, it's so good.
And buying them dinner.
Yeah.
Charlie's sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
On top of the
snoring.
shirts.
Yeah.
Yep. And we started hustling. And then we did an expo, fitness expo. It was October 2014.
In Sydney?
In Sydney. And we built a 3x3 booth, me and my mate,
Yeah.
in my grandparents' garage. And we built this little display. We put the signs up. It cost me $5,000. I think we made 10. But there was a sense of people wanting to buy product. And they were happy to spend their money with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, we've got something here.
So that was your MVP. That was your minimum viable product. That was your little test to see if there was something in this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was evolving. You had to reinvest. Like everyone thinks they're going to buy 1,000 units and sell 1,000 units. It doesn't happen that way. You might sell 600 units and then you got to reinvest into more product.
Right.
So it's building your product timeline to align to the actual 12-month schedule that you have to drop product in. So we fudged through it. I'm still in real estate at this time.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, well, I'm still in real estate
Your
from
side hustling.
2017.
Yeah.
And it's 2015. And I said to the old man, I said, listen, I'm going to take a warehouse because the stock I just ordered, by this stage, we've gone to China in terms of finding suppliers. And we're not going to fit it in the garage. So he goes, all right, listen, we'll just move together. We'll put the office upstairs for the real estate and you take the warehouse downstairs. Stock comes in 2016. We launch a WooCommerce site. It's atrocious.
The site is?
Yeah, the website. We get a contact that gets us on Iconic. We start selling product for Iconic.
Wow.
People are coming down to the warehouse. Now, I've got no digital marketing experience.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get people to get awareness of this brand and product? And how can I reinforce it into them? And the old man used to say to me something in real estate. And he said, well, if you can't lease or sell a property, just keep active and activity will breed activity.
Right.
And we used to have these yellow signboards and they were fucking ugly, man. My mates used to work for like the bigger brands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, their signboards are cool, man. Ours are yellow, red, and blue letters.
The real estate ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, no one talks about McGrath's signboards. They're talking about ours because they stand out. Just put more up. If you control the territory with your signboard, you control the space.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, if I can apply that to apparel, where's our territory? The gyms. If I can get more product, say Muscle Republic on people, it's going to reinforce it to you, to everyone else here, that it is a trustworthy brand that you can buy and the product is good. It's no good having the product on the shelf. It's not making me any money. So I just started hustling. I'd go to Anytime Fitness gyms, wherever I could. I'd do pop-ups everywhere, you know, like just with myself. I'd drag a mate along. I would do Fitness First in the Cross sometimes. Anyone I knew as a PT, can you get me into the gym? Can I do a pop-up? Yeah, sure.
And what would you do? Just set up a little, that same 3x3?
I'd bring all these red and black tubs that I used to buy from Bunnings. I'd set up a fold-out table and I would just set them up on clothing racks and just hustle. And that's the ugly side of starting. And you feel like a pretender, you know, like you think that you've got an apparel brand. You've got a couple of T-shirts basically.
Wow.
And no one wants to be seen doing that. I didn't care. Like at the time, going back now, fuck, I'll struggle to do it now. But people are scared to put themselves out there and look like they're not the pinnacle of the industry. Whereas I was like, fuck it, I got nothing to lose now because I was on the way up, you know, so it was all pure hustle and grind. Mind you, I'm not taking any money from Muscle. It's all been reinvested.
Okay.
So we get to 2016, we buy a bunch of stock. I said to the old man, I'm getting out. And he's like, yeah, we're going to, so we sell the real estate business.
You sell, okay.
At that time.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
So I'm living with my brother in Neutral Bay. You know, we're constantly trying to reiterate and, you know, people are helping with the business. My mate's wife was a designer. She was helping me at the time. I'd find contractors overseas. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to leave. So I go to leave. I make some money from the real estate sale. I pour it all into Muscle, build a new website, launch a Shopify site. But it is going nowhere.
Right.
Like I'm doing next to nothing revenue.
For how long?
Oh, 2017 and 18 were miserable years.
Almost 2 years then.
Yeah. But I was like literally, I'd invested more money in the business than I was making a year. So I'm scared, you know, like I'm really fucking scared. It's mid-year. It's May 2017. So I move into the warehouse with my dog.
You moved into the warehouse.
So I'm living there.
You're living in the warehouse.
I just said, I've got to lock it down. I got to lock in and do whatever I can now. I got to pack the orders. I got to do the marketing. I got to coordinate the shoots. I met Jeffro around 2018. He was a contractor, and he was helping me do content shoots. So I went back to just create activity, just hustle. So I'm reaching out.
Why didn't you quit?
Because people told me to, like just to stop.
They told you to?
Yeah, 2018, my whole family and close friends had a bit of an intervention, just said stop. You know,
what do you mean? Like that
they pulled me aside. They got other people to talk to me and say, hey, listen, just relax now. Like, because I was constantly like reinvesting everything I had into the business. And, but I believed in it.
Really?
I believed it was going to be as big as what it is today as what it's going to be next year, back in 2013.
How? Like,
well, you have to have something inside, I believe, that if you believe in yourself, no one's going to believe in you, right? Like,
yeah.
But my dog believed in me, so I believed in it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had if you have nothing to lose, you basically become unstoppable. And I literally built myself back up from rock bottom to someone that I was proud of. So I was like, I'm not giving up. Yeah.
Did that still come from the comp?
Yep.
Do you reckon?
Absolutely.
You know, Huberman and all those guys talk about there's actually a part in the brain when you do what you said you would do.
Yep.
There's actually something that happens in the brain
100%.
that actually strengthens, and they can see it light up and fire when it's under CT scan.
Yep.
Or whatever scan. And the opposite is true as well. When you keep letting yourself down,
Yep.
that part gets stronger too.
And that's what happened to me before.
Did it?
Yep.
Oh, those weekends?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I was never like that.
Right.
Yeah, I think I was letting the world tell me who I was before, or trying to become like part of the norm. Whereas like I still drive a ute. I still live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Materialistic things don't mean anything to me. Like it's really choice and comfort that like financial stability brings me.
What I'm picking up as well too, Vic, is like your opening line around entrepreneurship is actually about self-development.
100%.
Everything you've said so far, we haven't talked zero about tactics.
Yeah.
Maybe if I went in e-commerce, I won't do it WooCommerce, I'll do Shopify. That's all I've sort of grabbed so far.
Yeah. I'm at the Entourage and they're talking about Shopify and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a fucking 80 people in the room. I've got an e-com business. I didn't even know what Shopify was. I was too scared to ask.
Yeah, right. Okay. So it's like, okay, I'm just relaying this back to my audience who are listening and they love your stuff, right? And their members are your customers too. So far I've heard it's about believing in yourself because you've got to believe in something and you may as well start with yourself.
100%.
Secondly, it's about not being afraid to look stupid or be in rooms where you look stupid and just like sponging it all up.
Yeah.
And the third thing is like working on that 100% say do, because that builds a belief that even a whole family doing an intervention like still won't stop you. And I think when you said like when you've got nothing to lose, you become unstoppable.
Yeah. Well, 2017, I go to China end of the year. I get back. And I've made some amazing contacts
over in China.
Yeah, and I'm buying samples and I'm referencing them and I'm building ranges myself. And I'm like, fuck, you know what? Like I can see it in my head. I can see what I want. I can see the product range. I can see the new collections. If, you know, Lulu and Nike had a baby, that's my brand because that's what I love, you know? And it's around that same time I start finding, because it was fucking hard, man. Like it was really hard. Like I'm going to my parents' house for dinner every night because I got no money. I'm working for nothing. I'm literally, you know, I'm at this stage I end up moving out of the warehouse in the beginning of 2018. I moved into a 1-bedroom apartment where I'm still am. And I was like, I just got to give my dog the life that he deserves because he believes in me. And we called him the CEO.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, like, and it sounds a bit like weird and stuff, but like I would talk to him and like we'd spend so much time together. And because he believed in me, I couldn't let him down, if that makes any sense. So, but I find Andy Fazella on Instagram and I start listening to his podcast and I never listen to podcasts. And I'm listening to him and it's like he's fucking talking to me. You know, like I'm feeling so insecure about myself in this business. Like there's a strong self-belief, but there's also like, fuck, what are you doing? You know, like,
and it's that tension all day long, right?
100%, you know? So I'm like, okay, he's telling me, I'm feeling like people are trying to make my business destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like there's outside people looking at me going, what's he doing? Why is he starting an apparel brand for? These same people are asking me to sponsor their kids' teams now, sponsor their sports teams. Can you give me something for my trivia comp?
Is that funny?
Yeah, like all this stuff now. But it's amazing. That's the journey. You got to accept it.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I start listening to him and he talks about the power list. And it relates back to just write down 5 things every day that are going to move you towards your goals. So I do. I still do it today. You know, so it's breaking down the goals. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, so my listeners, we do this thing called Separation Sunday.
Yep.
For
Ed Milet used to talk about
it. So
I love it.
My
it's separation season right now.
Exactly. That's what we say.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
My guys listening, so Separation Sunday, you'll notice there's a bit at the bottom of it where it talks about the commit to 3. Those 3 things is like a subset of the power list that Andrew Frisella talks about. Yeah,
so I started following it and it worked. And if you did training or bodybuilding or fitness goals, you have to start with a goal. You have to break it down into not just training, but it's your diet, it's your recovery, it's your mental mindset.
So it's basically like instead of just having the goal, you also want to reverse engineer all the steps, all the things that need to happen along the way
100%.
to make achieving the goal inevitable.
Exactly right.
rather than just hopefully we'll get there.
Small steps. Just
Right.
take one step today. Like, I'll be honest, the last 6-8 weeks have been probably the most challenging period of my life with losing Charlie. And I feel guilty because I didn't buy him that house with a backyard. But we would go down the South Coast every other weekend whenever I could. And that was our favorite place to be. And I owe it to him to build this brand to fucking the biggest brand in the world now because I promised him that. And it sounds a bit like woohoo and stuff.
No.
But in my head and my heart, I need to do that. So nothing's going to stop me.
What is your goal then?
Worldwide expansion, massive takeover Gymshark, really expand this fucking brand to connect the world through the heartbeat of fitness and show the world that real muscle is heart. So if you're in fucking Germany and you see Muscle Republic, I used to get this all the time. People go, Vic, I was in Queensland and I saw someone wearing Muscle Republic. So I went up to them and I said, do you know Vic? And they're like, no, who the fuck's Vic? And I'm like, brother, this is because my mates are ethnics, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, brother, you can't go up to people and say that. They buy online. They don't know me, you know? It's they're like, no, I thought they knew you, you know? Because I know you, so I buy your stuff, you know? And we've built this community of people that are so connected to, the value we put in this. Customer service is a massive part of our business. I tell my whole, we got 4 people in customer service. Make sure you get back to that customer ASAP because I used to do customer service. I still got old phones with text messages. They used to ring me. You need another one? Don't worry, keep that one. I'll send you another one. It's really looking after the customers because if I instill value into you, you're going to remember that apart from anything else. So the customer's always right. So if you really look after your community and your customers, they'll keep coming back and supporting you. We've had product malfunctions. You want to talk about dramas.
Yeah.
We ordered these products back in 2017. We ordered these leggings. We got fancy on trying to make them different. And they literally were sagging in the front. So I was like, fuck. I was talking to you on the phone.
Yeah.
You're not an entrepreneur until you're lying, or a business owner until you're sitting at 2:00 in the morning with your hands in your head going, what the fuck am I going to do? I got $100,000 worth of product I can't sell, So we found ways around it. We'd run discounts. We'd tell them to size down. In that walk in the morning, I would always find a pivot.
What actually goes through your mind?
I love being tested.
Do you?
To be honest. Yeah. Not so much. I feel like I need to prove myself to myself.
Right.
I need to overcome challenges because Stallone says he's the best.
Yeah.
He's my idol,
Yeah.
But he's life is about challenges.
Yeah.
It's about overcoming.
Yeah.
So if you're not striving for something, what are you doing? So you're going to achieve one goal. So he says, climb the mountain. Once you reach the top of the mountain, what do you do? It's I did one comp in 2012. I was fucking lost in January that year.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to do another comp. So from February the following year, I trained all year to October. I did 2 comps. Then I did nationals in Melbourne because I was constantly striving for the next goal. Because if you're not striving for the next goal, what are you doing? I'm striving for a next revenue target in the business. I have 25 staff full-time that rely on me to be my best.
Wow.
I barely drink. I barely go out these days. I'm focused on what can we do to drive this business forward. Jeffro's got rent. He wants to buy a nice car. He's got goals in life. I need to build this thing as big as possible to keep all my staff engaged and feeling fulfilled in what they're doing at work every day. So I have to be the business never going to outgrow its leader. What can I do to grow this business even bigger and by myself?
And so, can you run through what are some of those things? Let's run through what are your habits that you really rely on?
Yeah,
a typical day or a typical week.
So I found at my lowest,
Yeah.
I found this lady that I work with. She's like a mentor. She's like a spiritual healer, and I thought she was a bit hoodoo at the time, but she taught me prayer.
Yeah.
So it's not about religion. It's about finding saints and aligning those to your particular challenges within life. And one might be for abundance. One might be for peace. One might be for growth. So every morning I pray. With religiously, I have to pray. I'm sorry, I'm not religious, but
Yeah, I know. I heard this the other day and I didn't really understand it, but it was it doesn't have to be religious, but it's about faith. It's about faith towards something.
You have to believe in something bigger than
rather
yourselves.
than actually a religion. Yeah.
100%. Well, the problem I find with religion, I find with that it's about separation. Mine's better than yours.
Right.
And I don't want that. This brand is about connecting all people from all walks of life.
Mm.
So my first gym was a gym called Tony's Gym.
Yeah.
And it was above a little fruit shop in this suburb we grew up in.
Yeah.
And when I went up there, it was people from all walks of life.
Mm.
Suits, tradies, all different races, creeds, colours, ages. But there was this thing that when I went there, I felt at home.
Mm.
And I was young and they had good mentors. And these guys still help me today.
Mm.
You know, like one's a towie and he was towing something for us recently. Like another one was a photographer. When I started, he helped me do the photos under the Harbour Bridge.
Right.
Because when people see you doing good in your life, they want to help you, you know? So prayer is the number one thing. I wake up about 4 o'clock every morning.
Do you?
Yeah, I barely sleep. It's a terrible habit. Like I need to learn how to get better at that.
What time do you go to bed?
I fall asleep like maybe 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I wake up at 1, 2. I'm on the laptop.
Right.
I'm studying stock on hand. I'm looking at future trends.
Right.
My brain doesn't switch off.
Mm.
It's bad. And I need to be more organized.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the way I operate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you ask me to do a task, I can literally fluff around on that task for 6 weeks. But I'll wake up at 1 and I'll plan 12 months of product.
Is that right?
And it drops. When it drops in my head, I can see it, I can feel it, and I know exactly what I've got to do. Might be a content strategy.
Yeah.
You know? So building structure into my life through walking, training, prayer, they're the key fundamentals.
You train every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
I haven't trained for about 5 weeks now, and it's killing me.
Because of the...
Yeah. So they said that I've done my L4, L5. It's literally, it was that bad I couldn't sleep. So I still woke up last night, but I know what's happened. They talk about, I feel like I'm talking a bit woohoo, but
no.
Since I lost my dog,
yeah,
it's been one of the biggest challenges. And I said to Jeff around the car, I have to acknowledge it now.
Yeah.
It's a massive gap in me, but it's going to drive me to the next level.
Yeah.
And they talk about there's an emotional muscle above your QL. I don't know what the muscle's called, but the kid that was treating me the other day, he's like, listen, he goes, there's a muscle here. They call it the emotional muscle.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I store so much inside emotionally. Because like, okay, yeah, let's just go. Just stay calm. Let's just get through it. Stay calm. Let's get
That's
through
that nervous system. Ash, you know Ash. Ash, how do you pronounce it? She knows.
Oh, yeah, Ash. Yeah,
she
she was a sponsor.
You used to sponsor her. Yeah. I told Ash that we were chatting today and she said to say hi. But she works with us. So she did a big talk with our academy yesterday about the nervous system. Yeah. And we're all different in how we kind of feel things. And that's just probably where yours sits.
See, prayer in the morning helps me release everything. Helps me refocus. And it's important. I've been doing it like 10 years now. I swear by it.
Okay.
You know, so... but training is the key fundamental for me.
Yeah.
That's at 45. It's going to be my fountain of youth. It's going to keep me strong. It's going to keep me sane.
And predominantly strength?
Strength and conditioning now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to 2017, I know I'm jumping around a bit. I literally shit myself at the, living in the warehouse. No, not then.
Okay.
Yeah, made it.
Yeah.
But like I'm scared, like I'm like, fuck, how am I going to lose all this money? Like, how am I going to come back from this? I need to find a way through. So it was just about taking that one step, just do what I could do today. And I tore my teres muscle at the same time, so I couldn't train. I could not feel this arm.
Shit.
And I'm going to different treatments, chiro, acupuncture, physio, and they're all diagnosing it completely differently. My mate goes, go to this gym where I still train today. It's called J-Train. It's
we know J-Train.
Yeah, S&C gym.
Yeah.
I walk in there.
Sam Arnott, is he still there?
Sam's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so James Brody still owns it.
Yeah.
There's another guy called Jay Butcher, and I'm like, oh, fuck, another PT. He's going to talk some shit about something. So I'm telling him the injury, and he's like, yep, I know exactly what it is. You've done something to your subscapular. It's probably around your isolation movements of your bodybuilding. We can fix it. And they're doing a lot of knee and shoulder reconstruction from rugby players.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, all right, I'll give it a go. I could not bench the bamboo stick. Like that's how much pain I was in. And he literally fixed me. At 40, I felt better I felt better at 40 than I did at 30. So I trained with him for about 10 months and I got stronger. I got fitter. I got mentally strong. And I still follow his programs till today. Yeah. So I find that SFC at my age keeps me a lot more engaged in terms of like with my body.
Yeah.
rather than, the pure weight stuff.
Yeah.
And plus, you shift, you want to be
Totally.
fitter. So
Totally. Okay, so now we're at the stage. So you've gone from sleeping at the warehouse
Yeah.
to try and just make ends meet and to just to go all in despite the interventions from the family.
Yeah.
And now we're at a point now you've got 24, 25 mouths to feed at the office.
Yeah.
And you're eyeing down taking over Gymshark.
Yeah, that's where we're really wanting to grow. There's some amazing Australian brands in the space that we compete against. You've got LSKDs, Muscle Nations, Elite 11s from Melbourne. These brands, my old man said something to me once as well. He goes, those real estate agents, they're no different to you. They put their pants on the same way every day. He goes, so it's all about what you believe in yourself. Are you going to make a difference today? Are you going to be your best? Because they're no different to you. You just need to learn. So I went and learned. I went and sat at the Entourage for 2 years, and I surrounded myself with different people, and I met these incredible entrepreneurs. And the conversations I was having were different than the ones I was having with my mates that I grew up with. So as you start to progress and learn, you start to get better. And it was failing forward, So where 2017, 18, really challenging years. 19, it starts to change. I get back from China. I've gone 3 years in a row. It's October, November. We launch our best Black Friday. We're in a 130 square meter warehouse at the time.
Okay.
With 3 staff. And we get to February and they start talking about COVID. We were going to go back. So I'm using
February of 2020?
2020.
Yeah.
And I'm landing stock and I go to launch a collection with an influencer we're working with. And we launch and it sells out. It's the week of COVID.
Fuck.
But it oversold 150 orders. So I spent my whole fucking weekend trying to figure out why my inventory was glitching. It was one little button on the back end.
Was it?
And you had to learn these things. You had to learn about software. You had to learn about everything that functions a business in apparel. So I'm racing home and I'm watching High Smile vlogs on how to do digital marketing.
Is that right?
Yeah, I found a guy in Canada that's still with me today and he does all our digital ads. He's incredible. He's a big part of it. I just flew him and his missus out last year. Took him to the Manly game. He was like a pig in mud. He loved it. You find incredible people along the way because you're so passionate about something. Jeff Rose, this kid, I was working with him in 2018 and I knew how talented he was. And then when we looked for a videographer, I reached out to him and I cannot hold the camera for the life of me. But I know from watching and observing all content for so long what we should be doing in terms of the style or the pieces and being authentic and showing behind the brand.
Yeah.
And we'll do one piece of behind the brand and it gets amazing engagement as compared to the whole theatrical piece of what we do a campaign on.
Right.
So you have to be real, and that's why our motto is real muscle.
That's what we teach our academy. Firstly, what you said around to grow an apparel brand, you didn't know you had to be good at software or find some shit out about how to run a Shopify store. Same thing with our owners. They didn't know to come into business and to they want to help people just like you. They didn't know they needed to understand how to run Facebook ads.
Oh my God. When I started with product, I used to research all the big websites. I would list out and write down how many products they had, how many leggings they had. What does my SKU range need to be to compete with these guys? What's the product mix in them? Is it nylon? Is it spandex? Is it 72? Is it 18% spandex? I fucking went to the nth degree to figure out what the best were doing. So world-class best practice. Who's doing it? Fucking Lulu, Nike, Under Armour. Go to Rebel and buy samples. It's not that hard. Find what you like, make it work. Find the trends. Now it's all about oversized. I can't wear the oversized tees because I'm short as it is. They make me look even shorter.
Yeah, yeah.
But our customer loves them. So give the customer what they want.
So you kind of, what I'm hearing is you kind of make it a bit of a habit to get into the kind of into the arena of what you don't know.
100%.
Instead of, because there are plenty of owners that we've met, plenty of business owners that we've met that they don't like getting into that arena because I don't know, I think it scares them or
It does. Yeah. I felt so stupid.
Feeling stupid.
Felt so stupid. I felt like a pretender. And now, I believe in myself more than ever now because I've been through the fire. And don't get me wrong, next week there's going to be another challenge. We're moving to the new warehouse tomorrow.
How big is it?
3,500 square meters. There's a 600 meter office. The girls have been operating in 120 square meters of space. My warehouse team has been using 2 warehouses side by side with a big wall in between it. To get it around, they've got to go outside and inside. And we've got through Black Fridays there. I'll tell you another story. Black Friday, maybe 2-3 years ago, I think it is. we launch, we're ready to go. One of the girls forgets to turn the auto sync button off. So we sell 20,000 orders on the day. We oversold 3,000 of those orders. I knew something was wrong because we started to pick and people were saying, we're out of stock of this. So what happened is when you have your inventory control system in, is Shopify, you push it into this Shopify.
Yeah.
Shopify controls inventory. That's what you want.
Yeah.
When you have an inventory management system, what happens is that can actually manipulate because it's the source of truth for inventory.
Yeah.
If auto sync is on, which means it's updating as orders come out, what happened is we didn't turn it off. So we drove it all in, and then everything we sold, because it came in so fast, it couldn't download the orders fast enough. So it told this inventory management system that the stock was still there. So it pushed it back in again. So we were selling the same product 3 times.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was a disaster. So everyone shit themselves. Like it was just a fucking nightmare. I just went downstairs, and it's funny, in the time of crisis, I can really hold myself to the point of just saying, okay, just go calm.
Really?
This is what we're going to do. I need you to pick the orders. Anything that's wrong, highlight it, circle it, take a photocopy, give it to the team upstairs, or my marketing team, or my product team. Everyone went onto customer service emails.
So everyone just...
Yeah, it took 2.5 weeks to get all those orders out with 22 people. And I'm just like, okay, staple the orders together with the shipping label. As soon as we finished those last orders, it was a Sunday at 1:00. I walked out, I went home, I collapsed, I was fucked. And I said to myself, I need to get that warehouse management system, which we implemented. It took 6 months to do, PeopleVox. We shifted our inventory management system to a new one now. And I said, you have to invest in the best software to scale the business because the software is doing the heavy lifting for us now. And now, following Black Friday, didn't pack one order. I don't even know how to use that management system. I employed a guy who's an operations manager now for us. He's incredible. He's managed the whole move for us. Like, so you got to find good people and put them in the right seats. You know, if you really want to scale a business, you have to understand every aspect of your business. And that's what, like my head of product, she's been with me 4 years now, and she knows better than anyone that I've been to China. I've packed the orders. I've done the Instagram. I've been on customer service, and I researched the best software system. So Gorgeous is our software system for customer service now. Our team of 4, they now have AI responding to our customers and getting 5-star reviews. Because it's out there. You just got to learn. You know, like if you can educate yourself well enough to what works best, why do the heavy work anymore? You know, like put the best system in place, make it enjoyable for everyone to work there.
Yeah.
Because if they love working there, they'll do more.
Yeah, right.
You know, now it's about looking after my team, and because they're the ones talking to the customers, right?
If you were to sum up your 3 big focus right now, as the leader, what are those 3 buckets? Make
sure we're delivering the best product in the world.
Okay.
So product in a business like ours is imperative.
Yeah.
It's got to be constantly reiterated, involving, making sure it stays ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. I wear black shirts, black shorts, black, you know, active wear.
This is your Conquer tee.
It looks amazing on you.
Thank you, mate.
Hire the best people.
Yeah.
Make sure they want to come and work for us. We've just brought in 3 key people into product now. They've worked for some of the biggest brands in the country. They're sitting across the table saying, you're so authentic. I love that you share your story on your page and that you've shared your journey. I want to come and work for you. And they're proper legends in the space. And I'm like, holy fuck. And they're asking for decent coin. And I'm like, fuck, I'll pay it. Like, you know, as long as you bring me the best.
That's exactly what I say. I'll pay anyone anything as long as there's a return off it.
So I know. So by being authentic, hiring the best people, delivering the best product, and keeping the vision strong for growth.
Okay.
And the values, obviously. So
product.
Yep. People.
Vision. And then the vision and values and culture.
Yeah. If I'm not leading the vision and the values for growth and
then
progress, who is?
Yeah.
You know, so it's progress over perfection. It's not going to be perfect today. Fuck it. We'll get it better next week.
Is that why that's on your new?
Yeah, it's our new value. It's launching tomorrow. You know,
great.
The other value is like we move as one.
Yeah.
So like what could we do as a team if we're just all on the same page? I need to believe in them so they believe in me. So if I instill value into you.
Yeah.
If I said to you, no, I'm not coming on the podcast, I couldn't be fucked.
Yeah.
You know? fuck, he's a dickhead.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, but I believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
I believe in your passion. I was
Yeah.
telling Jeff, I said, fuck, this guy's amazing. His fucking energy is strong, man. I want to go match it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I'm a massive introvert and don't like
Yeah,
talking to
yeah,
people.
yeah.
But because you bring it, I'm like, fuck, I want to be a part of this, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Well, we were going to ask you something. We were
Yeah.
going to ask you something off camera, but we might as well ask it live.
yeah.
Well, firstly, aloha. So we've got our vision book,
Yeah.
which is like, so 2.5 years ago, Ben and I had a chat. I went down the South Coast. Where'd you and Charlie Brown used to go?
So originally we went to Gerringong.
This is exactly where I was.
Yeah. But then we started going to Vincentia, Kalala Beach.
Yeah, a bit further down.
Yeah. So we found a place in Vincentia. That was his favorite
Yeah.
house.
Okay.
But there's an energy in the South Coast, man.
So let me ask you then.
Yeah.
If tomorrow Muscle Republic had to start again,
Yep.
I'm not going to ask you if you think you would be able to do it because I know that.
No, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the journey was the rebuilding of myself.
Ah.
So I felt like being at rock bottom actually helped me get to where I was because I was so driven to not go backwards, only go forwards.
Right.
That, without the dog or without the transformation that I had to go through, and I'm still going through it, don't get me wrong, I just engaged the same leadership coach that Danny's engaged.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now I've got to get better. Now I've got to do
Now it's
more
on leadership,
podcasts.
right?
Now it's all leadership,
Mm.
because Jeffro can hold the camera.
Yeah.
The product team are
Yeah.
incredible.
But they can't 10x if you don't 20x, right?
100%.
Mm.
So I need to step back and go, well, fuck. I need to get better to lead this brand to the next level.
Mm.
And that's what's going to happen. I can't wait to get back to the gym.
Mm.
It's a bit of a reset right now because I know that I'm going to, want to do different forms of fitness, So.
Okay. So we met because we've got the same accountant, our mate Danny.
He's incredible.
He's incredible. Now, he's in our academy as well. He drops in every quarter and does a talk. He basically yells and swears at our people about knowing your numbers and profit and ratios and stuff like that. How vital is it for you in your business to really know your numbers?
So 2017,
Yeah.
I met a guy through LinkedIn, Gregory Will. He's an accountant at PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Yeah.
He goes out and starts his own business. He loves bodybuilding, this guy. He lives locally.
Yeah.
He's worked with all the big apparel brands that you may have heard of. He reaches out and he's like, hey, I see this brand everywhere. Can I come and see you? I'm drowning. I've got no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know what my P&L is.
Mm.
So he reached out and said, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, I need to understand about inventory management. And he's like, okay, cool. Introduces me to another guy called Neil Livingston, used to be the CFO, MJ Bale, and Sea Folly.
Shit.
They were locals. Come in, and these guys are so accomplished in their own fields, but they love seeing people grow businesses, and people do because they know that business brings a lot of good into the world, and that's what we have to be. And they helped me for nothing. So he's helping me merch plan, introduced me to a guy called Paul Waddy. Paul's the operations manager at Chopin at the time. I'm going to the city having coffee with him from 2017 to 2020. And he's helping me. We become mates. He's helping me understand my P&L. He's explaining to me what your percentage of cost of product should be, what your freight cost should be. This I would never understand. Once I started to get it, I go, oh, well, fuck, when I buy my product, I can actually make this much money, or I can drive this percentage discount but still make money. Because I was operating at a loss. Talk about not knowing your numbers. I'm sitting in Danny's living room in 2018. I've got a loss of $300,000 because I'm not recording my COGS right, which means my cost of goods, I'm putting them in as AUD, not USD.
Fuck.
So when it washes out, I'm not recording my freight costs. So all my air freight I was doing at the time, all my sea freight, it comes out and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And he goes, okay, we got a $300,000 loss. And I looked at him and said, that's okay. Now I know where we're at. It's only up from here. And I leveraged that loss in the future years, so I never was going to give up, but it was so heartbreaking at the time. I drove home that night thinking, fuck, what am I doing? You get dark at certain times.
Yeah.
But understanding your numbers gives you confidence to drive forward. Understanding your numbers gives you confidence to hire more people. So our metrics now, traffic to website.
Is that right?
100%. Conversion rate, AOV, Now, how do I get I was talking to Jeffrey in the car. How do we get more traffic to the website? We create more content. We reach out to more people. We do more events.
Team,
you
everyone
get
listening.
active.
Yeah, everyone listening. This is exactly what we talk about all day long in the academy and on all these podcasts. Is everything Vic just said there in terms
your
of
numbers give you confidence to drive your business forward. Not knowing your numbers, it's like driving a car with fucking with a blindfold on. Like it's the worst thing ever. But you have to understand that if you don't have a good accountant like Danny, who's going to educate you and tell you about, bro, he still talks to me about numbers and it goes straight over my head. I'll be honest, you know, like my brother drives that side of our business.
Right.
now.
Okay.
Paul Woody's been incredible. Like I did a talk on his academy recently.
Yeah.
And I talked to him about like, you know, I would drive to buy more stock to the brink of like trying to get the banks to give me money, trying to get trade finance to leverage, you know, to invest in the stock. Like I'm talking, we're pouring everything into the business and some and like waiting for sales to make stock payments. And if we didn't, like one Black Friday, we had a disaster. We failed miserably, you know. But what Paul teaches you is if you understand your business, when money comes in, you've got to park it for cover. You have got to have enough cover in your business to hold yourself during a storm. Most people don't. They make money, they go buy a Lamborghini.
They buy
make
more
money,
Master
they go,
Republic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Our guys, like a lot of our gym owners, like they'll make a little bit of money. Like they get to the end of the month, there's $100 left over. Before they go to any planning, they'll buy more activewear.
That's okay. As long as it's Muscle Republic. But once you understand your numbers and you work with the right people, that's what gives you the confidence in the foundation to drive your business forward and be more creative, be more aggressive.
All right. A couple of last questions. So as someone who is, I guess, supplying to people in this industry, like obviously people that use the industry and people that like attend gyms and studios and you speak to a lot of gym owners and stuff like that. How do you see the next 5 to 10 years of this industry, of our industry, the sort of health and fitness industry? How do you see the next 10 years, 5 to 10 years rolling out? What sort of trends? How do you see things moving?
Oh, God. So we're predominantly a female customer database, which we started as a male brand.
Yeah, it started quite masculine.
Oh, yeah.
And then it sort of went definitely more feminine.
Yeah, so we hit COVID and we're trying to find product and everyone thinks like it's going to shut down. You're not going to get product. This is March 2020. And I'm like, fuck, you want to see me get product? I'll get product. So I'm literally on Alibaba just scouring through and sending the same DM to all different suppliers. Hey, my name is Vic from Muscle Republic. I would love to be able to get some samples from you. Can I please select these, this? And I would do that all night. So 3:00 in the morning, I hit this one supplier. She's our Lux supplier. She's like 60% of our business now.
Fuck.
This lady's gone from being an individual person working for herself as a trade company. I just went and visited her last week. She's got a team of 7 now, and her husband works for her. Yeah, and we're pretty much her main client. She's got another one overseas in Europe. So, like when people tell me that I can't do something, yeah, all right, watch me. I'm going to do it. You know? But going back to your point, where's the industry going? It's been a big shift. Used to be big box gyms before, small mum and dad gyms. Then I noticed, you had a lot of functional training gyms. You saw your F45s, your BFTs come through. But now you got like the Yard taking on what F45 did. An incredible model aesthetically,
Yeah.
But people are always going to be price conscious.
Yeah.
So it's bringing value and affordability to their training needs. But if you provide value to your customer and community and you keep them engaged, your gym is always going to be successful. So I think the industry is always going to have a different sort of function. Pilates gyms were non-existent, 10 years ago.
But now
They're everywhere.
Right, they're everywhere.
Pilates activity is the hardest activity. We go and do it as a team. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Like it's challenging. So watching people need some form of movement. Everyone talks about running. Yeah, it's exploded, but it was still there before. Are we going to shift into, you've got your functional training gyms, you've got your group training classes, you've got individual, one-on-one training. There's something for everyone out there. You got to find what you're passionate about and really bring that model to the market. In terms of where we're going, I've been to America and watched what's happened over there. People like big box gyms, they like small gyms. It's just about building communities. If you can build communities, I think you're always going to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
Movement is going to always be there.
So what I'm hearing is movement. As long as you've got the fundamentals of movement and community, you can wrap whatever concept around it.
Yep.
And but make sure that it still does those two things.
Look, in this industry, people are always going to wear T-shirts.
Yeah.
They're going to wear shorts. They're going to wear leggings. They're going to wear sports bras. As a function of the human body, you can't really change that too much.
Yeah.
In terms of function and training, it's either going to be weights or it's going to be a body weight movement. Now, that could be anything. You have to physically do the work yourself. Humans can't change that. So the type of training might be varied in some shape or form. Might be high rocks. It might
That's
go back.
exploded.
Yeah, absolutely it has. But it's still a functional training movement, right? Like it's not that different.
That's right.
You watch, like people say bodybuilding's dead, you know? Did you guys watch the Olympia recently and the engagement they had on Chris Bumstead's page?
Yeah.
People love that. Not just men, females too. They love that type of training. It's and that's been around forever and a day, right? So there's always going to be that type of activity. In terms of the models of gyms, I really can't comment on that.
Yeah.
But I think people love doing group training now. That's exploded.
Well, that's the community stuff, right?
Yeah, it's
and
always
it's like
around.
dragging your ass to the gym by yourself, or there's a 6 o'clock class happening. You better get there for the 6 o'clock.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that didn't really answer the question.
No, it did. No, it's good. All right. So this one last question that we ask every guest that gets on the potty is, what question did you wish I would have asked you, and how would you have answered it?
Shit, that's a difficult one.
Jethro, you got one? What car you drive? Do you have an Aston Martin?
Nah, it's my dream car. Yeah. Yeah, I guess what do I want to be remembered for?
Wow.
Yeah, that's like as I get older.
That's what you're really thinking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about now.
And how would you have answered that?
I think, so what I really want to be remembered for is like someone that left an impact and brought good into the world. That was something that Charlie did for me. And I think if we can do that as humans, it changes the world forever. Because I remember at my lowest, a mate of mine said to me, the reason that happened is because you took that person's value away. You got to remember that they might not have much, but they got value. And if you instill value into them, then you'll instill value into the world. And when I did that, by instilling value into myself, which my dog gave me, I changed the world. And if we do that as humans, we change the world around us and we change it for a better world and a better place. There's no better feeling than a sense of belonging. Even if you're introverted and you don't like socializing with people. But there's like, we walk through the area, we walk through the mall, and my team tease me. They're like, hey, you know everyone. And I'm like, yeah, but like we grew up together, or we did business together, we played sport together. That's a sense of belonging. That's what the Northern Beaches has given us as a community. And that's what we want to build through Muscle Republic. So if I really want to be remembered, I want to be remembered as connecting the world through the heartbeat of fitness and building a brand that left an impact into people's lives, just like my dog did for me.
Vic, thanks for coming on the pod, man.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Hope it brought some value.
Mate, you absolutely did. And we're right here with you every step of the way. We want to see Muscle Republic do its thing.
Let's get Hawaii.
You fucking oath, brother.